Our two cents.
With Oscar.
It's been a hectic past 2 weeks for me at least. Let me see. I think this is a little low. But I've been trying to have a conversation with some of you might know him, some of you might not. He is been in multiple movies. Um, like I said, some of you might know him. We haven't been able to link up our schedules. So it's been a little complicated trying to get a hold of him and seeing what he does and why he does it and what are his motivations. So we have Rolando Molina, which we are going to send him an invitation so he can have a conversation with us and we'd oops and we get to know him. So for the time being, I'm gonna send him the link for this to get it going. So for the time being, I have to do these things this way until I start getting people's email. I should be getting people's emails, but I always fall short. Is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. Um, anyways, let me see. I gotta send them the email because we wait. Wow, this is not cool. Anyways, uh, um, there. I wonder if everybody's like me. Do you emails that have no that aren't important to you? I don't know, important like emails that are. Well, the question is, do you like me leave most of your emails unread? Because for the most part, it's just dumb things, ads, other stuff that I've signed up for that has no point. Um, but anyways, so we did send him the link for the Zoom conversation, and we'll see if he becomes available within the next couple of minutes. And it's been maybe 2 weeks since he accepted to have this conversation, but it hasn't played out because our timings are. He's just a busy gentleman individual that always keeps busy, I guess. Um, but we want to know how he got into business, what's his life like mainly, and just to get to know people. Like I keep telling everybody else. Um. Okay, I got. That's not looking good. All right. Mm, I gotta stop recording. Yes. We'll see. Now I gotta stitch this together. Ah, it is what it is. Oh well. So, like I said, we have Rolando Molina. He's been in next Friday, Ace Ventura, and multiple others. I'll let him tell you exactly who he is so we can get to know him together. And let's add here we go. There
Yo,
he is. How you doing, Rolando? It's been 2 weeks that we've been trying to do this. It was
it's been 2 weeks, huh?
yeah, it's
Wait, hold
been
on. I had a question for you because I have a mic here, and I didn't know how do I sound?
it sounds like you're in an empty room.
All right, hold
And
on.
and it sounds like really distorted a little bit.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Because I have a mic that I use for self tapes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Not self tapes, for voiceover auditions.
Yeah.
Want to see how this sounds?
It's
Calm down.
let I can't. You're gone. I can't hear you. No. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
You couldn't hear me?
I can it still sounds like distorted.
Okay, let me try. Hold on. Let me try connecting the AirPods.
Okay, maybe that works better.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. Way
we'll do it.
better.
All right, cool. That's weird that the mic didn't work.
What are you using? A lavalier mic? The little lavalier ones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I started podcasting with those with my friend that I used to do it a couple weeks, well, a
And
year
now
ago.
look at the upgrade.
Yeah, I know I have
Look
the
at
microphones and the
the
roadcaster, and I finally got a laptop where which now I'm able to do video, which is great.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So like we last week when I was started talking to you, you started sharing a little bit of who you are. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know who you are, what you do, and how great your career's been.
Well, my name is Rolando Molina, and I'm originally from El Salvador. Came here, migrated with my mom and my little brother when I was 4 years old to the United States. Settled in Los Angeles, California, and right out of high school, I had a dream of wanting to become an actor, and I was able to accomplish that dream less than a year after I graduated high school. At the age of
Sweet.
19, at the age of 19, I auditioned for my very, very, very first audition, and I ended up booking the part, and it was for American Me.
Okay,
The
so
movie.
I gotta ask. I've seen that movie so many times.
All right, you got to remember, I was 19 years old,
Right.
and I had,
Right, right,
and I
right,
was
right.
shaved.
Obviously things
I
change,
look
right?
like you. I look like you.
Right?
I look like you.
Okay. What role did you play in I'm sorry. I've seen it so many times. I know I can name the scenes, but I cannot name you the actors. I'm very bad with names. So
Okay.
maybe you can walk me a little bit because I've seen it so many times. It's like one of my top favorite movies that I've watched, which is
Okay, so
American
I'm
Me.
glad I'm glad that I came home to do this interview because I have an old
Oh yes.
falling apart what do you call it, scrapbook, and I have some little gems in here, and one of the gems that I'm going to show you is here it is. Um, this was the scene in American Me.
Okay, the party,
That's
right, right,
me.
right, where he gets arrested.
I'm
That's
the cop arresting him right there. And it's
oh
autographed. And this picture is autographed by the man himself, and James almost.
wow. See,
And
that's
so is that poster. That poster is autographed on the collar. He autographed it for me as well.
nice. See, those things are priceless because those things are a stamp of that time that you
Yeah.
were involved in of that
Oh,
particular uh,
it's a
moment.
snapshot of how my career began. and from that point on, uh, it kind of just uh, had a mind of its own. It took off on its own. I started. Well, first of all, I had a friend of mine. She'd been trying to be an actress. Her name was Erin Walters, and she'd been trying to be an actress for a while. Her mom was an agent, well, sub agent at a previous agency by the name of Corley Jr. agency. Corley Jr. agency was well known in Hollywood for having specialty actors. Like
Okay.
she'd have a bunch of like little people. She was well known. Whenever you saw little people in movies and everything, like 90% of those little people came from Corley Jr. agency.
When you say little, you mean
It's little in
or
stature,
okay.
little.
I don't know what the right proper term is to use.
Well, that's the reason why you don't say the other words because
Right.
the PC term is little people.
Right. Okay. Okay. The proper term, little people. Okay.
But those are people that are shorter than 5 feet. You know
Okay.
that
No, but I thought
therefore.
you when because we were talking about acting, I thought you meant like people that had that weren't big actors. I thought that's what you were
Oh
meaning.
no no no
That's what I
no
wanted to clarify because I was confusing myself. Yeah.
yeah. I she her mom worked at that agency, and she told her mom about me booking this movie. So her mom wanted to meet me. Came over. I went over to their house. She pretty much auditioned me. She had me read two different monologues, one comedic and one dramatic. And she's like, "You're a good actor. I'd like to represent you." I said, "Let's go for it." And it took off from there. And then I started booking just left and right. I mean, films like Menace to Society, American maybe the first one, Menace to Society was maybe like the second or third one. Started booking a lot of TV shows. Maybe 5 years into my career, um, I booked a recurring role on a television show called ER, which
Okay.
was a very popular show back in the mid '90s, and it
It was a
lasted.
soap
It had
opera,
quite a
right?
run. It's not a soap opera. ER is actually a medical drama television
Yeah,
show.
like yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I was recurring character on that particular series for the first season. I did probably about I want to say 5 or 6 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's quite a
so
few episodes, right? For
yeah, well, yeah.
yeah.
That's what happens when you have
For the
a
time that you
recurring
had
role.
yeah, for the time that you had been acting, it was a pretty big deal
Yeah,
for that one, right? I'm not saying that the other ones weren't a big deal, but this one was since
right.
it was like a recurring show, right?
Yeah, yeah. This was a big push and a jump for me in my career because then uh, that's when casting directors started asking, "Who's that guy? Who's Rolando? Who's Rolando on ER? Who is he?" And then offers started coming in, for other films and television shows. Um, but I always had to audition for everything that I do. Even to this day, I still have to audition.
Right.
There have been times where um, you know offers have been made to me, just direct offers, and I'll take some of them. Sometimes I won't. I, there, believe it or not, I have turned down a few
Mm.
possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, prior to American Meat, what did you go to an acting school or was you just out of the gate? You were like, I have this knowledge and I'm going to use it.
So whenever I meet an actor who tells me, "Oh yes, I went to New York Film Academy and I was there, I graduated. I went to Juilliard, and I got my degree." And I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." They go, "So where did you study? What school did you go to?" And I'm like, "School of Life."
Sweet.
And they're like, "What? School of Life?" I said, "I had never had any formal training. I never went to drama school or acting class or anything like that. Not once in my life." And sometimes they look at me with daggers, because they went through all these years of training and everything. And when I say the school of hard knocks, the school of life, I mean like literally a lot of the times where I pull from for, let's say, dramatic role or whatever, I pull from real life events, things that have really happened to me in my life. Like people have asked me how can you get emotional like that, on the drop of a dime. I say because I think of very sad things. Like, what if I lost my mom? God forbid. What if I lost my brother? God forbid. My brother's my best friend.
Right.
One perfect example would be a film I did called Crazy Beautiful. Crazy Beautiful was a film with that starred Kirsten Dunst and Jay Hernandez.
Okay.
And those of you that know Jay Hernandez is now the first Latino Magnum PI on television.
Okay.
He's the lead. He plays Magnum PI on television now on the show on CBS. So I played his older brother in the film, and there's one poignant scene in the film where him and I get into an argument over him coming home late for dinner, and we're all sitting in the kitchen table there having dinner, and our mom starts digging in on him and speaking in Spanish. Where have you been? I've been waiting for you, and he's had a bad day, so he lets off on her and pretty much tells her, worry about your own goddamn self, and that's when my character gets up and confronts him. He's like, hey, don't disrespect moms like
Hmm.
that. And the scene itself, it gets a little heated, but it looks like we're about to get down with each other. But then he says something to my character. He's like, I said, you owe it to your mom. You owe it to moms to make something of yourself. She works her ass off for you. And then he pushes me and says, why? Because you did it. At that point, my character's like, what? Simone, I said, you're right. And this dude, my character is a gangster. He's straight up
Okay.
homeboy. He fucked up his life by being a gangster and not doing anything with his life. And so he tells him, yeah, you're right. You're nothing like me. You're smarter than me. You're faster than me. You got the opportunity to do things I can never do. And you can be a congressman, you can be a pilot, whatever the fuck you want. You're just gonna throw that shit away for some white girl. I'm not gonna let you do that. I did. It's not verbatim what I just said, but that's pretty much the gist of it. But
Right.
so basically, I was trying to explain to him, look, I fucked up. Doesn't mean you got it. I'm a
Right.
fuck up. Let me be the fuck up of the family, not you.
Learn from it.
Do something with your life. So that was a really strong moment for me, and I pulled that energy from my little brother.
Oh,
I
okay.
pictured my little brother when I have my scenes with Jay, and it's been to this day as people watch it, man. I've been complimented so many times on that scene, and that's really one of my favorite scenes I've ever shot.
Yeah, I bet you had to dig deep into your mind, into your
Your
memory.
soul,
Yeah,
your
that's right.
soul.
Into your soul and your memory to bring out a moment where you had a scenario similar to that to get the emotion out, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because my little brother actually ended up joining again,
Okay.
and I was very disappointed in him because see, but there's more to that to the story. I left my parents' house when I was 17, going on 18, and I kind of left my brother in a situation where he was by himself there because it's just me and my brother. We're the only two siblings, me and him.
Okay.
And so I wasn't around, and he was, he's young. He was 14, um, looking for some kind of big brother, and I wasn't there. I was absent because I was dealing with my own bullshit. And then he ended up joining the gang. And when I found out he joined the gang, I ripped into him. I ripped into him, and I told him how disappointed I was with him. I told him he was an idiot and just gave him a lot of shit. And then he said something to me. He's like, "Well, you were never fucking around."
Oh,
Yeah,
that had to. You
that
felt that, right?
to
But
this day I feel it.
I mean,
You know,
even though it's true, I don't think you could take that personal because you were you were still a kid still at the time,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
wasn't like it was just situations that happened in your life. Because you know what, you're saying that you left your family at 17, 18. It's
Mhm.
funny because you're Salvadorian, I'm Salvadorian. I got kicked out at 18, right at
Well,
18.
I didn't get kicked out. I left. I
No,
left
okay, but I'm saying like
because my yeah, I get it. Yeah,
we
that's
parted
crazy.
ways. We parted ways at that age. Yeah. Um,
We do have a lot of similarities, you and I.
Yeah, and luckily, well, my not well, yeah, luckily I have two sisters. I'm the
Okay,
oldest. I'm the oldest of three,
okay,
so I have two sisters that
yeah,
are younger than me. We're all 3 years apart from each other. So my sister didn't go into like that bad of a path for a little bit. they did pick up alcohol and weed normally,
Everybody does.
everybody
Everybody
does at
does.
that age. But they luckily they left all that to today. They're not they don't have anything to do with that scenario.
Oh, good, good.
But at the time I was going through my things too. So I was never around to be like, hey,
Mm,
like tell him like this is bad, this is not good, like through experience because I wasn't around. I was
yeah.
out there dealing with my things too.
So
Um,
you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, so I understand what what you're saying to a point because I never like I said like I don't have brothers, so
Mhm.
nobody in my family, at least close to my family, has gone to that path, so I wouldn't be able to understand that side. But I understand what he told you that you weren't there. I felt that one when you said that he told you that.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't argue with him there, and that at the same time, at that moment when we had that conversation, now mind you, I was living in my own apartment at the time, and he showed up to my apartment drunk,
Oh,
and that's and mind you, he was what, like maybe 17 at the time, 16 and a half, and I started digging into him because of all that, and him joining a gang and being drunk, and that's when he told me that that I wasn't there. So what do you expect me to do?
did
So at
that?
that moment,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
Go
no,
on.
so at that, no, you're fine. So at that moment, is when I realized, and I kind of hit it stung. It stung. So I sat there and I had a deep conversation with him, and I said, "Look, man, you're right. I wasn't there. And it wasn't my fault. It wasn't your fault. But don't doubt. Don't ever doubt that I love you. You're my brother. I'm always gonna love you. You're my best friend. And you're always gonna be my best friend. And to this day, my kid brother is my best friend.
That's good.
And we shed tears that night, him and I, and we hugged it out, and I think that was the moment, the catalyst of my brother and I's relationship that just brought us together in a way that we knew that we are the only ones that are going to be there for each other for the rest of our lives.
That's
And
true.
that's the way it's been. My brother and I are like this.
That
So,
you know what? It makes me sad when I see brothers that don't get along. Like
me
they
too.
always find something that like the worst thing they can find on each other rather than seeing the good things that they have and that they have gone through. They always just
Mhm.
focus on that. But then again, we're not in those families and those relationships, so we don't really know how they treat each
We don't
other.
know the dynamics. We don't know the dynamics of it.
That's the
It's
right
true.
word. Yes.
And that is true because I have had friends who, um, you know, they lose each other as brothers, and that love is lost between them, and it's sad to see because, like I said, I just can never picture myself not speaking to my brother or hating on him in any way, or I don't get it. I don't get. But then again, it was just me and him growing up though, so we were the only ones that were there for each other.
Yeah. So you just had you two. Well,
Yeah.
were your parents together?
So the story goes that my mom was a single mother when she
Okay.
left El Salvador, and at the time, this was 1974, 75. There was a civil war going on in El Salvador at the time, and it was me and my little brother. I was four. My little brother was 2.5 years younger than me. So she came to this country by herself with her two children. Um, we moved around a lot here, stayed with different people, some of my uncles and aunts and stuff. Um, and I never had met my biological father. My brother and I never met our biological father. Um, and whenever I didn't start bringing up the question as to who's my dad and where's my dad up until after I want to say I was maybe 9, 9 and a half.
Oh.
And the reason being was because when I turned 7, my mom ran into some financial difficulties here in the states, and she ended up sending me and my little brother back to El Salvador to live with my grandma and my aunts, and we stayed there for 2 years, and which was
Okay.
good because we got to know our family and our aunts and uncles and cousins and all that, and so I learned how to love other family members because of that. Um, and then when I got back, my mom had already met a man who he's from Mexico, and that is the man that I today call my dad, my
Okay.
father, and mi viejo, because it got to the point he took it upon himself to finish raising me and my little brother, and married my mom and everything. And like me and my brother never had a dad, so he's our dad, and we don't call him stepdad. We don't tell people that's our stepdad. No, we tell them that's our dad. That's our father. That's our viejo.
Well, that's
You
that's
know.
the father figure that came in your life and stayed.
Well, that's the reason why I'm no longer Rolando Molina. I'm now Rolando Conchas Molina. I adopted his last name.
Oh, okay. That's yeah. That's
And
awesome that you guys at least had somebody to call dad, and it wasn't like nobody. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
you raised the question at 9, 10. You said right, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
About 9 or 10. Yeah,
Okay, so I at that between the ages 1 to 10, 11, for me, I didn't know my parents. So
really.
I my mom had me over there at 1 year old. She left me with my grandparents over
Oh,
there.
okay.
So I
She
didn't
came
meet.
here.
Yeah, they both came here.
Okay.
So they left me over there at 11 years old is when I met them. But
Oh,
I
wow.
don't remember ever wondering who they were. But the thing is, I would hear about them here and there, like every now and then. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't there was the communication wasn't there. So when I got here, the things with them weren't like 100% like we're get
Right.
along because I didn't grow up with them. And
You didn't
on
know who they were.
yeah, on top of that, they wanted me to behave a certain way, but it was almost impossible because I wasn't gonna allow them to tell me how to behave because I don't know
Hmm.
them. Who are you?
Hmm.
Where have you been all my life? You know.
Yeah.
But I come to a realization today. Well, first of all, this is what I say. I wouldn't leave my kids like that at all. But the different times, different situations, I understand
Yes.
that, yes.
Yes.
And again, they did what they had to do at the time. But
Right.
me personally, I don't feel like that's what I would do with my kids because I mean,
Well, let me ask you this: do you really, really think that your mom and your dad, it was an easy decision for them to make that decision?
of course
Of
not. Of
you
course
know,
not. But
so
I do blame them a lot. That's my problem. And even though I
yeah,
say I don't now, I do because it's always in the back of my head. I can't get it out, but I
right.
try not to.
But see, I think that I mean, if I can be completely blunt and honest with you, I think it's a little bit unfair. Although I do understand your point of view, and I know I totally get where you're coming from. And as a child, to know that and not have your parents around for 11 years of your life, your first 11 years, that's almost like an abandonment issue. I get that, but at the same time, because I understood what my mom was trying to do, but not until later in life that she brought us to this country to give us a better life. Your parents left El Salvador because over there they were not going to be able to give you the life that they wanted to give you. Unfortunately, it took them sacrificing, leaving you behind so they can come here, establish, make a life here, and then bring you into this life that they wanted you to have instead of the life that you would have had in El Salvador as a teenager.
Right, right.
So so I understand both sides. I understand your side. I understand your parents' side, but I think that because I personally, so my parents weren't perfect. Okay,
No one
at
is,
one point,
man.
yeah, at one point in my life, when I came into back into my mom's life, and she was with this man who I called dad because they never had a dad. They both had a drinking problem. They both drank every night, and my mom would get drunk to the point where she'd become a totally different person. I didn't know who she was, and she never physically touched me. Neither did my dad. My dad never even messed with me, but my mom, she would emotionally and mentally abuse me,
Right,
not intentionally. It was because she was under the influence.
right. It was the
Um,
alcohol.
so many years passed by, and as an adult, I I started having anger issues and just a lot of things going on in my life to the point where I went to see a therapist. And in those therapy sessions, it came out that I had deep resentment towards my mother for that. And I didn't even realize how deep I had, compressed it and put it in me. But it was eating at me. It was eating at my soul. So um, my therapist said, "Are you ready to forgive her?" I go, "Forgive her. She needs to apologize to me." She goes, "She's not going to apologize to you." But are you going to forgive her? I go, no. Then you're going to continue to poison your soul, she said. What do you mean? She says, that resentment, that anger, that hate that you keep inside is going to eat away at your soul and it's going to make you a miserable person. And then
Oh.
she said, do you think you're perfect? I go, of course not. Okay. So you're going to make mistakes. You're going to hurt the ones you love the most without intention. And when you do that to the ones you love the most, would you want them to forgive you? Of course I would. How can you expect to be forgiven if you can't forgive? Man, that therapist is good, bro.
That's
That therapist was
that.
good because she
See,
was just she just really like I was like, whoa, what? In order to be forgiven for your trespasses, you must forgive those that have trespassed against you.
yeah.
And that's when I finally was able to one day go to my mom and sit down with her one on one and say to her, you know, I got something to tell you and I want you to understand this is coming out of love. Um and I want you just to hear me out before you say anything. I said, look, um, when you would drink, this is how you made me feel. This is the resentment that I hold against you because of it, and I'm just here to tell you right now that I forgive you for everything you did. And we both cried, hugged it out, you know, and from that day forward, man, let me tell you, my life has changed for the better because now it feels good to be able to because you know people still do me wrong in life, you know, and even family members, and they don't mean to, you know, but I've learned that forgiveness is a powerful tool. And once you start being able to forgive those who do you wrong or trespass against you, your own life, there's an inner peace that builds within you. And that's what happened to me. Like I have this whole inner peace. I'm on TikTok live, right? On TikTok live, I actually tell people all this all the time, and I tell them, you know, I found forgiveness to be, you know, my peace, my inner peace. So I tell everybody you got to forgive those, you know, that especially the ones you love, you know.
everything you
So
just said right now really, really resonates with me a lot, a lot.
yeah, I
Like,
thought it would.
cause like I tell you, I say that I have forgiven them, but if I really think about it, sit down and think about it, I don't think I have. But I,
Oh,
but that's the hurdle that I've now realized that I have to get across, and especially with this, what you just told me right now, it's just like, damn.
okay. So let me put this scenario to you too. Let's say somebody came to you and said, okay, we're going to make you an offer. We're going to make sure that your children are taken care of for the rest of their lives. Okay. But we need you to come with us and leave them here for X amount of years. But once you come back, your children will have money for college. Your children have money for their children's children, and they'll be taken care of for the rest of their lives. I mean, what would you do?
That's tough. If I want to
It is
be,
tough.
if I want to be um arrogant, I would be like, no, I'm not going anywhere. But that's me
Hmm.
lying to you.
Hmm.
But if
Yeah.
I'm being honest with you, I'd probably take the opportunity.
So that's and what do you call that? A sacrifice.
Sacrifice. That's
You're
right.
you're you're, and that's exactly what your parents did for you. They sacrificed. They
Yeah.
sacrificed the first 11 years of your life without you. And I mean, you ever stop to think that maybe it hurt them more than it hurt you to do that?
Being a father now, I would say it did. I would
Yeah.
say it did. Because
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I realize a lot of things, but I don't think I have really forgiven them, or myself for not forgiving them. Maybe I need to start
Hmm.
right there, forgiving myself for not forgiving them, and
Yeah.
then move along from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You do need to forgive yourself for that, man. And look, man, I'm telling you, man, it's a great weight that's lifted off of you when you do that.
Right.
It's a great weight that's lifted off of you to do that.
It is. It sound. I mean, because it even though I don't feel the toll of it, it
Hmm.
is there. Because like I said, like every now and then, like I'll just get angry because maybe I don't realize it. I think maybe I think it's for no reason, but maybe it's that weighing on me that just comes to
Hmm.
my head unknowingly to me. It
Yeah,
could be.
I believe it. I do believe it. It's like, look, I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but I what the therapist had taught me through therapy, I use in my daily life, and also, I'm a firm believer in the 18 rules of life for the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
There's a lot that I take from that to use in my life, uh, and and it helps. It just helps to I I try to be zen about things,
Right.
and because in life, man, so many things happen that you got to be zen. You know.
Yeah, even though you got the stress of life, the stress of your career or your job or whatever it is, there's something in your brain that when you meditate, I don't know,
Hmm.
that's what we're talking about when you said Zen, right? When
Hmm.
you get to a
Yeah.
point where you can meditate, it's it's relieving. Um, I've tried to meditate multiple times. It's almost impossible. I've only been able to concentrate one time, and maybe I wasn't even concentrating. Maybe I just thought I concentrated, but that moment did feel good, but I
Hmm.
just I start to do things and I don't continue them. I'm surprised
Hmm.
I've stuck to the podcast doing it this long, as long as I've been doing it for over a year, and I'm
Yeah.
happy I have because I enjoy doing this conversation. Look, I think this is the first deep conversation where I had with somebody where I tell them like, oh, my parents left me over there, and maybe I
Hmm.
have this, maybe I have that. This is the first one I have, and I'm glad it was with somebody that can
I can
I
relate.
yeah, like that can relate, yes, to
Yeah.
what I've been, what you've been, especially like I mean, but enough about the
Well, I
set.
mean, but think about it. I mean, you, do you not think that when my mom sent me and my little brother away, that I didn't have abandonment issues
Oh,
with my mom? It's like I was a little kid, but I understood that my mom was sending me away. So this is a woman who, from the moment I was born, has been there for me up until the age of 6.5, 7 years, first 7 years of my life, and now she's saying we're going away.
you gotta go.
And I'm crying my eyes out. Why? What did I do wrong?
Right.
Why? And at that time, I couldn't understand that she was having financial difficulties, that she couldn't afford to feed us, and she couldn't afford to give us a roof over our head. And so at that time, it was just no. My mom was abandoning me. But so I can relate in that aspect of what you must have felt like as a child.
Yeah.
Not ever even meeting your parents. So
Well,
but we do have a lot of similarities.
yeah, we definitely do. I wish I would have, because I like I told you last time, I took acting classes from the age of maybe not even a year, maybe like 6 9 months or so. Um, I don't know if you know I don't know if it's still there. The school was in Anaheim. It was off of on the 91 off of Brookhurst.
Mhm.
It was in that area, the school. Um, but I took those classes, and today I wish I would have stuck with it because look what the world's become too. Like back then,
Mhm.
nobody was even thinking, oh, I'm gonna be making videos and try to make a career of that. And everybody was just like, okay, I'm gonna be an actor and be on TV or something like that. And it's not what I wanted to do. I did think about radio because everybody listens to radio, and I would always wonder,
Yeah.
how do you become what do they call the radio guys?
A DJ.
No, not a
DJ.
DJ. The guys that talk. I can't even think.
No, they're called DJs
Oh, they call okay.
on the
Well,
radio.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to do. Like, but I never
A
pursued
disc
it.
jockey. DJ is short for disc jockey.
Yeah, you froze there for a second. No, you're still
You're
frozen.
completely you're completely frozen.
Ooh, we're both frozen, huh?
Oh, we're both frozen. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh,
There
there it
you go.
goes.
There you go. All right.
What
Yeah.
was that all about?
I don't know. Some probably the internet, my internet. I don't know. Maybe. I hope it's not mine. Oh, we're good. I have good internet. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what other movies were you been on? You said Ace Ventura.
No, not Ace
No.
Ventura.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I did no, I did Menace to Society.
Menace to Society.
Yeah, Menace to Society was a black film back in 92, 93. I want to say it was shot. It was with Lorenz Tate, you know, O Dog. Remember the characters?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did a parody. The Wayans brothers did a parody.
That's the
Don't
one
be a
I'm more
menace. While,
familiar with.
yeah. Don't be a menace. Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a parody to the actual movie Menace to Society. And Menace to Society was actually a very popular film back in the day. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. 1992, 93, 93, and that was the movie poster for it.
Okay, I've seen that movie, but I've seen Menace to Society while drinking the juice in the is in the hood,
And
right?
that's the one. That's the one that was a parody.
Right.
So that was another poster for it right there.
Yes, I've seen that one a few times, but the other one's the one that I've seen the most. Now I don't,
Yeah,
I don't remember the characters too familiar, but how many scenes were you in that one?
I literally was only in one scene, man. I was
Okay.
that movie because there was no Latinos in that movie with the because it was like I said, it was a black film. It was about it's kind of like have you ever seen Boys in the Hood?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so it's similar. It's kind of like a Boys in the Mood type of film where this it's a story of this black kid growing up in South LA and um, what he goes through in daily life and how he gets involved with drugs and gangs and everything. And then there's a scene in there where the cops pull him over and they end up beating up on him and his homie and they throw him in the back of the cruiser and then they go and take him to the wrong side of town, which is where all the Chicanos, the homies live, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
And they dump in an alley and they were hoping that the homies were gonna fuck them up
mhm,
even more. But the homies, me being one of them, we ended up taking them to the hospital instead. The two because we saw how beat up they were. But and it was quick. It was funny part is that it was me, Danny Villarreal, who plays Little Puppet in American Me,
oh, okay.
and Clifton Collins Jr., who Clifton Collins Jr. Man, he's big. He's done big films now. So he's kind of like a half. He looks half Mexican, half white. Let me show you a picture of Clifton Collins. There he is. You probably you would probably recognize him for many films that he's done.
I've seen him previously, yes. See,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
I if I see faces of actors, I'll be like, "Oh yes, I've seen some of his movies." But if you tell me
yeah.
the names, I'll be like, "Ah."
Yeah.
That
Well, here's a younger picture of Clifton.
Oh, okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
more what I
yeah,
recognize.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So it was us three in this scene, and we literally were just had a couple of lines, and I was, and man, the wardrobe was horrible, but it is what it is.
That's neither here nor there, right?
There's no, yeah, exactly. Bro, look, there's always a few films that actors do that, or a few things that they do that they're cringe worthy. Like for me, watching me in American Me and listening to me say that one, it was one line. It was one line. Step away from the car and put your hands on top of your head. But every time I hear it, I hear step away from the car, put your hands on top of your head. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why did I say that line like that? But it was one line and nobody cared. So
Hey,
it started my career.
let me
So
make you feel better. I don't think it sounds like that, honestly. I think, that scene kind of makes me mad because I'm always rooting for the main character, even though he's like
right.
the main bad guy. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
neither here nor there. I'm rooting for him regardless. So,
Well, he played both the antagonist and protagonist, and That's the beautiful thing about Eddie Olmos' character Santana in American Me is that he was both the protagonist and antagonist, meaning the good guy and the bad guy. You know,
Now, maybe
so
you could answer me this question a lot better. Now, it's okay if you can't. Now,
what's that?
did they get in trouble for that movie? Is
Okay, so this movie was the story of the Mexican mafia,
right,
which is a real cartel.
correct.
And Eddie kind of did this film without their permission. So he did get many death threats. He did. There were some issues that did happen on set, not on set, but there were certain people that were in the film. You remember the scene? The lady who played the mother of Evelinda Fernandez, who played the girlfriend of Santana, the girl
Okay.
that Santana was trying to get with.
Yes.
The lady who played her mom. Remember the scene where her brother Ernesto he ODs in the bathroom, and she finds, and then the mom is right there and grabs the little boy, and that lady, she actually was part of a, not a gang, but a gang prevention type of. I don't remember exactly, but they gunned her down after the film because she was part of the film. And again, rumor has it that it was possibly connected to her making the film and the people that were spoken of on the film.
That's
So
scary.
yeah, but Eddie almost did get a lot of death threats. Now, at the same time that American Me was being shot, and we shot in East LA, Blood In Blood Out was also being filmed that same exact summer.
Mhm.
Now, on Blood In Blood Out, there was a drive-by shooting because what Eddie almost did, which the producers of Blood In Blood Out did not do, is he went to all the gangs in the neighborhood, La Primera, Hazard, and all the gangs in East LA, and said, "May we have permission to shoot this film on your territory?" He showed
Okay.
them respect, and they all said yes because he showed respect. But the producers of Blood In Blood Out didn't have the foresight to do that. So there was a drive-by, and one of the caterers got shot. He didn't get killed, but he got shot through the drive-by. He got hit. So
See, what I had
it's pretty crazy.
yeah, that's scary. What I had heard, it was the kid that says la primera lives at the end.
La Primera lives.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
shoots the gun. That I heard that that kid had got killed. Is that true or was that wrong information?
you know what, this is to be honest with you, this is the first I've heard of that. I mean, I don't know. If I have to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if that's true or
But
not.
this is
But
just through
that
the
might be
grapevine that you heard.
rumors. Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be rumors. It might be rumors.
it's
But
scary to
I mean,
think,
googling that is
right? It's scary to think that. I mean, I understand that they want respect, but it's crazy to think that you can't. Well, I guess you're portraying what they do, and that's why
Mhm.
they don't want people to know. But yeah, but it is
Well, I
scary
mean,
though.
he gave away a lot of secrets, bro. Like how they move drugs in there, how they bring drugs into the prison, how they move the drugs through the prison. The whole pass the wire shit, pass the wire. That was invented by the Mexican mafia in prisons, and Eddie almost exposed that. You know what I'm saying? Like now they can't pass the wire anymore. Because now people know what the fuck that means. Like pass the wire. What? Who's passing the wire? Right? Where?
Right.
Cops. So
Now they do
yeah,
it
so
through the
there's a lot of
toilets, right? Through the
there
toilet system.
that
That's
that's
at
how
least.
he showed that there too. He showed that in there too. Remember that
Oh,
puppet stuck the drugs up his ass and he went to the toilet and then the guy was down there in the pipas. Oh, that was sick. That was nasty, bro. Pulling
yeah,
shit out and
it-
until yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But
yeah.
who would have ever thought the movies would be so crazy and dangerous?
I mean,
Oh,
it's like a career they do, but it could possibly get them killed if they do the wrong thing, if they portrayed the wrong
well, I mean,
person.
yeah, if you start portraying the wrong person, yeah. But listen, give me a second because my headset's about to die right now. Let me
Well,
pull out my
if you
my other
want,
headset.
we can cut it there because I'm running at a time over here, and then
Oh,
we
you
can
are?
we can record some other time again because this is an interesting
Okay.
conversation. I would like to do it again, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm down. I'm down with it.
And you told me last time to hop on one of your TikToks on your TikTok lives, and
On my lives, yeah.
I wonder if it's a problem because I don't have the 1,000 followers on TikTok that is required to do lives. I wonder if that'll be a problem with.
Yeah, you have to have 1,000 followers in order to go live,
Uh,
but you don't have to have 1,000 followers to come to my live to watch my live.
okay, I'll definitely do that. When do you go
Yeah,
live? So I could.
I usually go live at night. There's times where I go random days, during the day, but mostly
Okay,
nights, and maybe times
you're
a
breaking
week.
up. Oh, there you
But
go.
did you already follow me on TikTok?
Yeah, I do follow you.
Did you already
Yeah,
follow me on TikTok?
when you
Yeah,
came
hold on, I
across
gotta.
him, when you came across on my TikTok, I was like, that's not him. And then I looked you up, and I was like, wait, that is him.
Oh,
and
my for the for you page. I came on your for you
yeah,
page.
you did. And you know
Okay,
what?
what's your TikTok handle?
It's oh, I tell you right now. Uh, I don't know by heart. Okay, it's R2 underscore cents.
R2 underscore cents. Like cents at
Yeah,
CNTS.
CENTS.
Okay, CENT. Oh, there you are. You got
Yes.
the same profile pic.
Yeah. Like I said, my TikTok doesn't pop because I wish I had more time to do this, but I do. I
Yeah.
work with what I got, the time I got, because I like I told you
Well,
last time.
I just followed you back. So,
For
and the thing
sure.
too, man, I'm supposed to following 10K people on here.
There you go.
So
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna
Yeah. I'm like
I'm gonna
I
send
only
you.
have like 200 slots left for to add people.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a message, and we'll schedule another. Are you still there? Hello? Did I lose you? Probably lost it. And let's give him a minute. Ooh, we did lose him. Anyways, we didn't get to say goodbye to him because this we're having connectivity issues. Oh my goodness, this is not good. What about, and we were having so much fun during the conversation. Um, I thought I was gonna be able to hang on a little bit longer, but let me see. Let me see if I can get a hold of him again, so we can say goodbye to him at least the proper way. And I'm not there. Let me see. There I am again. Um, Let me see if I can send him an invite again. This I feel so bad. Anyway, I lost you. Where'd you go? Let me. I want to say goodbye to him. I don't want to be this rude. Ooh, baby, I know. It was so interesting and scary to think that their life got threatened um, by making that movie, and it's scary to think that other people that don't like what. Well, I mean, like I told them, I guess it's because you're revealing stuff to be that they consider to be would it be sacred? Is that what they call it? I mean, I don't know. Um, Anyway, we'll see if he wants to say goodbye to us. If not, we'll just leave it there, and we'll definitely have another conversation with him in the future because he's an interesting person. I enjoy the fact that he shared this. You see, he's so nice that I we've never talked. Well, we did talk last week, but it was briefly, and we kind of cut it short because we didn't want to. We didn't want to share bits. Share bits of what we could share with you to listen. Um, I guess it's not gonna happen, but Rolando, thank you very much for accepting to do this, and I apologize for losing you like that. I don't know what happened. I don't know where you go, where not you. I'm not gonna blame it on you. I don't know where the video went, but like I said, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and the time to have this conversation with you. And again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got video now, and we got the audio, and hopefully soon we get to get some we get to improve this, but one step at a time. We got to improve this first, and then the next thing, and so on and so forth. But with that being said, nobody's laughing here. With that being said, it is interesting to know that we talked to Rolando Molina. And the good thing is that he will definitely come to talk to us again. And next time, I'll make sure we say goodbye to him. And again, Rolando Molina, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And that's kind of be. That's it.